It's pie day. It's pie day.
3.14.
Come on, everybody. It's pie day. It's pie day. Yes. It is free for all. Freaky Friday here at Born Again to Live, where, we've just done some really, some big hard-hitting series on the armor of God and the names of God, and we talked about forgiveness. We've done a lot this week, Eric, and I just feel like it's time to get just a little bit zany, So
we're going to talk about a subject that's dear to my heart. Well, stomach. Hi. No, but it is pie day, 3.14, right?
What's after the 1-4, Eric?
Well, I had a whole list.
Okay.
I'm going to go on all of them.
Can I guess? All right, 3.14. The next number is 6.
3.14159 26535989793238, and that's 4.
Wow. Okay. So for the two math nerds out there that listen to our podcast, they're all excited. Everyone else is like, what? Yeah, this is what, 8th grade math that most of us have for sure forgotten.
So my ex-wife was actually a math teacher.
Okay.
During Pie Day, I would bake Pie Day brownie, Jell-O shut things, and she would take them in, and she had a contest of a kid who could remember the most 5 days of pie or numbers.
Yeah,
would get a prize.
Wow,
so,
that's awesome.
Not that I'm a math nerd, not that passed the 4, but
yeah,
usually make a lot for Pie Day. So and I mean, pies. That's what was crazy.
Yeah. Well, I think when it comes to dates on the calendar, of course, our favorite is May the 4th, right? Which we celebrated at Big Blue this year. But we are going to be celebrating Pie Day on Saturday with the kids, right?
Yes.
So, the day after, it's like Pie Day +1.
Yeah. If there's pie, I'm there.
We'll see you there, Eric.
And for those who are not mathers, pi is how you figure out the diameter of a circle.
I thought it was the circumference.
It's something to do with a circle.
It's the circumference. Okay, so here is a practical application for those of you that care, which is, well, maybe Eric. Okay, so let's say you have a circular swimming pool and you need to buy enough fence to go around it. And you're thinking, well, how do I do that? I mean, I guess you could put a string and measure the string, but no, mathematically, let's say it's a really big swimming pool. Mathematically, it just, it's, you use the radius and square that and times it by pi or something, and then that's going to give you your length.
If there's any math people out there, go to our Facebook page and teach us the proper way to use pi.
I mean, right, but let's talk more importantly, Eric, real pi, okay? Let's add an e to the equation. P-I-E. What's your favorite?
Apple.
Straight
old school apple.
Well, it kind of goes with your Chevrolet and baseball lifestyle too, right?
My grandma, when she was alive and making pies, made a chocolate pie. And when I was a kid, it was probably my favorite pie. I loved it with Cool Whip on it. It's just straight chocolate with Cool Whip. And I made the mistake one time. My mom made that pie. And I took a bite, and she said, "How is it?" And I said, "Grandma's."
Oh, man.
So my mom never made me the chocolate pie.
She didn't. Oh my God.
Loose lips say people.
You have a lot to learn about women. Goodness. All right.
That's the reason I'm so.
So my favorite pie is, it's not even on the top 10 probably, but it's key lime pie. I do too, but here's my thing. It has to be done right. Yeah. Most of the time, people are trying to sneak in a light green, limey cheesecake and call it key. No. If this thing is not the color of snot and kind of thin and super tart, in fact, in restaurants, I always ask the waiter, waitress, I'm like, what color is your key lime pie? Because if they tell me it's green, then I know it's fake and I know it's not going to be good. But if it's this nasty yellow color, that's when I know it's the good stuff. So yeah, I wanted to just pucker my cheeks to the point where I can't.
Because there's actually a version of the lime, which is the key lime.
Yes.
The Keys down in Florida.
Mm-hmm.
And it's one of a kind. And it is
it's so good.
Oh, I love the tartness. Of course, I eat lemons. So,
Right. So. It is the ultimate, palate cleanser after a zesty shrimp cocktail kind of a meal. So, yeah. But now that we're having Pie Day, is it snack time yet?
I hope so. Uh, so, at work we have these little, they're decadent chocolates, and one of them is key lime pie. It's from a company called Hammond's.
Ooh.
It is really good chocolate.
Well, it's funny you brought up work today, Eric, because I think that's kind of like our kind of free-for-all Friday topic that we wanted to talk about.
That's because it's finally Friday, not finally Pie Day.
That's right.
World, right?
Right. Um, and yeah, this is just was something on my mind this week. I work all over, as I talked to you guys about, and I'm always driving. Well, this week I got to go up to Baltimore and work in a warehouse. And I do this from time to time, and I love it. Like, it's just a completely different environment. Everybody's super nice to me. For those that understand the reference, it's very 8 Mile, if you get that reference. But I enjoy it. I love working in that environment. And I don't know, it got me thinking about all these people that kind of work this warehouse, lifestyle. And, a lot of them are pulling 12-hour shifts. And, and I'm getting to touch on, talk to some of these guys, but not deeply. But I wonder about them, right? Like, what is their life like when they leave here? Like, what is it? So many people, I feel like they work to live or live to work, right? Like, it almost seems like it's one of two ways. But, do they find deep satisfaction in what they're doing? Or do they just show up because it's a paycheck? And then, what does that life look like once you go home? Do you just go home, watch a show, go to bed, get up and do it all over again? Are you on this, hamster wheel? Or does your occupation have more meaning? And so that's just been going through my mind all week. Eric, what are some of your thoughts?
I never get all worse. No. I don't know. I wonder about people a lot too, because I know that, like, sometimes you'll see people who have no job and they're putting out like 10 job applications and they get the first job and they take it, and then you wonder, is that really what they want to do? Are they happy, or are they not happy? And what is their life leading to from that point on? Or is it just, like you said, is it just working to make enough money to pay the bills to go to sleep? It's a hard life, and I mean, it kind of sucks that we all have to do that we have to work like that to make enough to do things, but sometimes we can go about it in a happier mode. And I think of work as, not many people probably think this way, but joy.
Yeah.
Because we're all about joy here. And I think that if I was around Amy while she works, I could have been around Amy while she works, and she's never really been around me at my, I guess, main job. But I show joy in my workplace, and I know she would show joy.
Yeah. I mean, lately, especially in this warehouse, it's very noisy, Eric. So I actually listened to a lot of our podcasts, and just went back and I can learn a lot about trying to improve, things. And so I was listening to our podcast a lot. I listen to music a lot. So I'm generally pretty joyful while I'm working. And yeah, like I said, I'm kind of a lone wolf. I'm all by myself. So I enjoy the quiet of my mind, where all I'm focusing on is what's in front of me. And I'm not thinking of a million things and trying to do anything else. I'm very compartmentalized when it comes to that kind of stuff.
Yeah, my job, I'm more of a people person. I'm a manager of a store. And so I deal a lot with employees and customers and suppliers, and I mean, I'm constantly going around people. So my joy is that I'm a people person. So I like to talk to people. So I feel like that God's put me on this earth to talk to people. I have the gift of gab, I guess. I mean, and probably before being born again, I don't know that I had the gift of gab for God.
Right.
But now that's what I live for, is to, in any way, shape, or form, have his name be the center of the conversation. And in my work, it's really fun because I don't know if he ever gets to listen, but my boss, he's got such a big heart. Like, we opened the store, and the first thing he asked was if I could pray for the store before any but customers ever came in the store. And so we are a Christian-based business, and I love that about it, because a lot of times he'll say, Eric, your ministry's right here.
Yeah.
Your job is to not just make me money, it's to tell everybody about God.
Right.
Because if we're doing that, God's going to bless this store and we're going to make money. So that's a lot of his perspective on my job. And the fact that I get to do that is really fun for me.
Well, yeah, and that store is like the center of Baker, West Virginia. I mean, this is not a big place, you guys, but people come in there for everything from diapers to a quart of milk to like all these car parts, and y'all sell everything there. I mean, I even picked up a snazzy little Christmas sign that one day I popped in. I'm like, I gotta have this. But yeah, like you are the center of your community, much like the 7-Eleven in Wardensville.
Yes, much like that.
But yeah, like God put it on my heart this week as I was just, watching these guys, and they're doing electrical work and they're cutting metal, and they're, it's a sign shop, and they're just working their tails off. But, God put it on my heart that like your vocation is not just, it's not a paycheck. Like it really is, if you look at your relationship with God as a walk, which I just like that analogy so much. Your job really is an opportunity for God to put people in your path, right? That you wouldn't choose. Like you're not gonna, any other part of your life, you're doing what you say you want to do, right? Like who you hang out with, where you go for fun, where you go to relax. But your job is that one place where you kind of don't have control over who comes in and out, right? And I just think that if everybody sort of looked at their jobs more as a ministry and a chance to connect with people and, lead them and guide them and give them wisdom or just joy, right? Maybe you're just that guy that cracks jokes all day long. That's a good thing. Like that's a God thing, right? To just add joy to the workplace. So, I just wanted to talk to the listeners about looking at your jobs differently.
From a young age, I'll give a shout out to my dad. He taught me the value of hard work.
Mm-hmm.
I watched that man work from way before daylight to way after dark most of my life. And without a doubt, he passed it on to me because my son always says, Dad, take a break. And I'm not trying to tap myself on the back or pat myself on the back or whatever, but like I want my kid to be instilled with that. And one day, we've never come up with a term for my kids that are my kids that aren't my kids. But one of those kids asked me about how I can work so happily all the time and work so hard. And I said, I work like I'm working for God.
Yeah.
And I believe that that's the model I should be for everybody that I'm around.
Well, Eric, that is not just your theory. That is in that's in Colossians. And it is Colossians chapter 3, verse 23 through 24. And it says this: whatever you do, work at it with all your heart, as working for the Lord, not for human masters, since you know that you will receive an inheritance from the Lord as a reward. It is the Lord Christ you are serving. So think about that, whether you're whether you're cleaning houses, whether you're making sandwiches, whatever it is you're out there doing, like you're serving the Lord, like you're serving people, but ultimately, like you're serving God's family. And so,
well, just this thing about you say cleaning houses. If you're a house cleaner and you're serving and cleaning God's house, right?
Yeah.
You're not going to cut corners. You're not going to miss the cobwebs. You're not going to miss those things. You're going to take out everything and make sure that it's clean. And that's what God's telling you in that scripture is don't cut corners. Do it like you're doing it to the best of your ability. And time shouldn't be a factor. Like, get the job done according to the job, not you. If you're like, oh, well, I got 4 more projects, get that job done first before you move to the next project.
Yes. There is a spirit of excellence that I believe God calls us to, right? And, that is something at Big Blue. I mean, there are those weeks that we struggle, and yes, we're going to drop the ball on some things, but we always want to do these things because, in that scenario, we know we're working for God and we're working for his kids in this community. But, I love that we all have the spirit of excellence. We're not going to take on something that we know we can't do the right way. And this is one of the Bible verses that I just hold dear to. This is Proverbs 22:29, and it says, do you see those who are skillful in their work? They will serve kings. They will not serve common people. I mean, wow, right? Like if we do our work just to the best degree, just like what you were saying, Eric. You don't stop because the time's up. You're going to go that extra mile. You're going to get that ladder and get that cobweb down, because that is the spirit of excellence. Like, we'll serve kings. And that is quite the reward, right? And that's God giving us a little bit of bragging, right? Like, look at my kid down there. Just, you're doing such a good job that basically what that's saying is others will see it, others will notice, and you'll be elevated because of it.
Yeah. And one I like is Ecclesiastes 9:10. It says, whatever your hand finds to do, do it with all your might.
Yeah.
The idea, I always thought about the story of David when he's dancing with all his might. Like, what's it look like if you get everything you got and all the time? Like, and if you're doing that with work and you're giving it all, you're not just half doing it, or, oh, I'm tired today, I don't really want to go and do that. So you miss like half the floor if you're sweeping the floor. That's not doing it with all your might. That's not giving it all to God and saying, listen, I'm wore out, I'm tired. Because if you give him everything you got and you do it, he's going to fill you with new energy.
Yeah. Yeah. We've all been around those people that are just phoning it in at work, or it's just not a good feeling. You don't feel loved. You don't feel seen. You don't feel cared for. And I mean, the reverse is true, right? That person, like, they might not be treating you with a lot of care and respect, but then you kind of don't treat them much better the way back, right? Like, if it's a clerk at a store or something, like, I'm sorry, but sometimes I'm not very kind to the people that aren't kind to me. So you got to set that standard, you guys.
So with my barbecue company, last summer I was at a county fair, and one of the local people who does barbecue, I was there eating and not even like eating his food. And I saw him coming from a refrigeration trailer up to his barbecue place. And I was like, oh, that's cool. He had this little baby stroller he was carrying stuff in. And he said, it's my meat stroller. Well, I happened to notice that there was some colored food on there. I'm like, well, that looks pretty cooked.
Yeah.
And so I kind of inquired of the company that he deals with. And a roundabout way, I found out that he's buying pre-cooked brisket and just throwing it on and warming it up and then serving it to customers, and everybody's like raving about how good his food is. And it irritated me because I do everything from trimming the fat off of my brisket to seasoning it to smoking it to slicing it, all of it. And it made me so upset. And then I actually had to take a time with God and say, it's all right. God's like, listen, I will reward you for your diligence.
You do you, Eric.
And so I don't get mad anymore with that pre-done, I cook all of my food from scratch and from the beginning by myself, and know that it is done my way and done right, and it is finished right. So,
and might I say, people they can taste the love, Eric. They can taste. So I pulled up to your house today, and just the whole yard is just wafting of, I don't even know what it is, but man, did it smell good.
Yeah, I put briskets on at 6 o'clock this morning and pork butts on at 6 o'clock this morning for an event.
And we still can't sample them yet?
They're not done quite.
Great. Okay, so be it. But I want to share, to me, this story has stuck with me for so many years. But when I was still in school, and honestly, I don't remember why I was having this conversation, but it was with one of my teachers, and she said, Amy, when I was in graduate school, she was up in the Boston area, right? And I know, Eric, you're like a big MLB stadium guy, right?
Yes.
Is it Fenway?
Yes.
Okay. So she's at graduate school in Boston, and she goes, Amy, would you believe when I was in, during that time of my life, I would clean the bathrooms in Fenway Park as a part-time job. And here's the thing, guys, like, so she's already got her bachelor's degree. She has a master's degree. She's working towards her doctorate. And here she is cleaning a ballpark bathroom, like, as her part-time job. And she said when she went in for the interview, the guy was like, no offense, ma'am, but like, I see your resume. I see that you're trying to get your doctorate. Like, why do you want this job? And she said, it's the only job that fits into my schedule, and it pays well, by the hour. And so that planted a seed for me for the rest of my life, that basically what she was telling me, and just that humbleness and that humility to take that job, is that we all have our goals, right? And her goal was to get through graduate school and be able to pay for it. So she would do whatever it took to get there. And so maybe the job itself was not that joyful, but it got her to her joy. And I think that's sort of this other side of the coin when it comes to our work. It might not be the funnest job in the world, but if it allows you to do those things that do bring you joy, that in and of itself, you could be having the worst day, like working at the drive-thru, but you're like, you know what? Every cent I earn tonight is going to give my kid the best birthday party ever, or is going to go to pay for this home that I love living in. Or, you know what I'm saying? Just always keep your eye on the prize, I like to say.
All right. So as we end your Friday here with a little lesson on why we work.
Yeah.
How we work for God. We don't work to work. We don't work for the money. We work like we're working for God, and the reward will be your pay. And if you do a good job, your boss may be out there looking at you and say, hey, they deserve a little raise. So that day you're struggling with money, you might put in a little extra work, and you might see a difference in life. Not telling you you're guaranteed to get it, but it'll make a difference in everyone around your eyes.
Well, what you're saying, Eric, is you might get a bigger piece of the pie. It's pie day.
All right. So as you go through the weekend, come back Monday with a renewed vigor into your job and just go at it with all your might, like you're working for God.
Amen.
All right. So let's stack some stones.
Stack them. All right. Let's go.
All right. You want to go first or want me to?
You first, Eric.
Well, I actually wrote that today I want to be thankful for my stone of the ability to work.
Yeah.
I'm not in aches and pains. I don't have problems where I can't go out and work. And again, I got a barbecue job last minute this past week, and literally it started on like a small job, gonna be a birthday party, turned into a massive event for me and a good money maker. And I'm not gonna lie, like God gives that gift to me, and I'm willing to do it and able to do it. So I'm thankful for the ability to work.
Yes, me too. Well, since I heard from her just this morning, on the drive here, I thought a lot about what stones do I want to stack. But I'm going to give a shout out to my friend Jen. And you talk about going way back. Like, we have known each other since we were 17. We were roommates in school together. And Jen, I know you listen every day. So thank you for just being a faithful listener. But, Eric, Jen is just one of these women in my life. She is a prayer warrior for me. She is an encourager. Like, she is a cheerleader. Like, she's always texting me about our podcast and how much she loves it and how much it, like what that specific day brought to her. And the thing that I love so much about Jen is she's that person that I can just call when I need to just cry and wail and vent, and I've done the same for her, but she is just a very precious stone that God put in my life a very long time ago, and she is still one of my rocks. So Jen, love you. Thank you so much for your friendship.
All right. Have a great weekend, and remember, this podcast is just a small piece of pie. No more shame or sorrow. Past regrets were washed away.
Hey guys, thanks again for joining us today. We want to make you a part of the conversation. So please visit our Facebook page at Born Again to Live the podcast and leave a note or a comment, questions, prayer requests. We just want to hear from you. And while you're at it, please like, subscribe, and share so that others can find out about our podcast. Thank you.